Scotland, a land of legends shaped by mountains, mist and time. Contained within it is one of the world's most picturesque and challenging through hikes, which takes you through the heart of the Scottish Highlands. Hi, I'm Harvey Neal.
And I'm Peter McKeown.
And in this film we'll be documenting our experience whilst we head to Scotland to tackle the iconic West Highland Way.
We'll be exploring Scotland as a hiking destination and taking on a trail which is classified as moderate to difficult.
But to understand what the West Highland Way really means to people, we had to start with those who've walked it before.
I found out about the West Highland Way simply by, I think I was travelling in Scotland and I was looking at maps, because I love maps, and I could see that there was a path. And I had been in Scotland to do the NC 500 and I saw that there was a walking trail and I went, oh, that looks good, and any excuse to go back to Scotland.
I've lived in Scotland 30 years now, so there's loads of places I know and I've travelled, and it's an area I've driven past and stayed close by many times. Some friends did it a few years ago, so it was one of these things that you add to your bucket list. What made me do it was a sequence of things. This is one of the reasons that made me do it, actually. I'm a relatively new dog owner. She's nearly 3. So when we did it in August, we did it together, just myself and Rosie. It was perfect timing for her because she was just 2. I'd finished work, so I finished work at the end of April, sort of a semi-retirement, taking some time off. And you know, when you've got time on your hands, things like the West Highland Way really fit.
Once you made the decision to hike it, how did you prepare it in terms of gear and training?
Being from Canada and having done a lot of hiking before, as far as gear went, I had everything already, and anyone who's been to Scotland knows full well that you need a very good set of waterproofs.
It's a lot to do in the preparation. You know, especially if you're taking a dog, and you've got to decide straight away whether you're wild camping and you're carrying all the gear, or whether you're using one of these luggage transfer companies. So I used a luggage transfer company. It probably took me 4 or 5 months in the preparation. You know, booking accommodation in advance. Combination of Booking.com and the luggage transfer company was brilliant as well.
I think the main challenge was just lining up the abilities of all the participants. So one friend lived in Holland and one lived in Bournemouth. One had a really bad back. Another friend lived in Norfolk, so we did a couple practice walks together. And then I think it was also managing expectations. So people were like, oh, they're going to be midges. Is it really hilly? I'm like, well, I've never done the West Highland Way before, so I don't really know. A
girlfriend of mine had done a couple of years ago, and when she did it, I remember seeing a photograph. She was wearing shorts, vests. It was beautiful. So when I did it, it was horizontal rain at times, so it can be completely different.
Talking to Janelle and Andy really opened our eyes. They both completed the trail and both had a lot to say about the weather, the planning and the mental side of it all. It made us realise we couldn't just show up and hope for the best, so we trained. We walked the coast, climbed Snowdon and hit Rosebery Topping more than a few times. This gave us a feel for the challenge and helped us to get into the right mindset before taking on this journey. With the kit packed, batteries charged and more gear than we probably needed, it was time to set off. As the city streets gave way to open countryside and we crossed the Scottish border, everything started to feel different. The terrain changed, the air felt lighter, and with it came a buzz of optimism, like we were finally on the edge of something big. The West Highland Way was getting closer. We arrived at Mulguy Station, the start point of the West Highland Way. Our bags were packed, our boots were on, and the adventure was real now. We handed our main gear over to AMS Baggage Transfer. They'd be leapfrogging our stuff to each stop, leaving us to carry just the essentials. Peter and I were excited, buzzing really, but honestly, beneath all the energy, something heavier was sitting with me. I've never done anything like this before. No big treks, no long distance pushes. I wasn't sure how far I'd make it, but that was kind of the point. Spring here brings its own kind of life. Toads, frogs and more midges than you'd ever wish to meet. The only toad on this trail.
It's funny. One of the reasons I wanted to do was just test myself against the element, because I'm knocking 40's door down now. I'm 37 and a half, or am I 38? I don't even know, but yeah, I wanted to come and prove to myself that I've still got it. So Here we go, 96 mile to do. This one's sinking. Oh mate, wet feet is just unthinkable. Oh man. Ah! Yeah, that was a bit of a very feminine scream.
Roughly 40,000 people complete their walk each year. Some do it for the views, some do it for the challenge, but some, like us, do it to step out of their comfort zones. Wildlife on the West Highland Way is everywhere. You just have to slow down enough to notice it. Peter spotted this deer just off the trail, totally unbothered by us. Then we ran into some of the Highlands' most iconic residents, the Highland cow. The Highland cow has been around for centuries. They're hardy, shaggy and surprisingly very calm. They're built for the brutal winters up here and you'll find them grazing all over the Highlands. We tried to make friends, but they weren't having none of it. Still, being that close to them out here felt pretty special. One minute it's wildlife, the next it's just your boots in the trail. That's the rhythm out here. Quiet, then surprising, then quiet again. You have walked about 7 miles. Come see our smiles and have a cuppa. Even try our famous platter. It doesn't matter, there's a warm welcome at the beech tree. The West Highland Way isn't just a trail, it's a lifeline for small businesses. Hikers bring steady foot flow season after season, and places like the beech tree thrive because of it. Even the pond's got charm. Toss a coin, make a wish, the money helps feed the fish. Every detail here's got heart. And yes, actual Shetland ponies, because why not? With Drummond camping just around the corner, the first real stretch of the journey was starting to settle in. Our legs were feeling it, but the trail was only just getting started. Mark, the owner, couldn't have been more welcoming. He showed us where to drop our bags and pointed us to the best pitching spots. He even stamped our West Highland Way passports, a little memento to mark the first milestone of our journey. After a day like that, it didn't take much to make us happy. A patch of grass, a spot to crash and a bit of food, that's all we needed. As the evening settled, we met Judith, a hiker from the Netherlands. We spoke about her home, her travels and what brought her to the West Highland Way. As the campsite quietened down, me and Peter sat back and talked about the day, the people we met and the trail so far.
It's interesting to speak to people from different places, Matt.
Well, for so long, mate, you were telling me like you meet interesting people along the way. And
people have a different mindset because these type of walks attract certain types of people, don't they? So you end up just meeting travel-y type people who can talk about deep stuff in life and that. Like them two Indian fellas who were from down south, the one who lives in Tasmania. Thoroughly nice guy, and the Dutch lass over there as well. Enjoying a nice cup of tea with us. You know what, I actually learned something valuable today because the 78-year-old bloke who we met, who was working on his house, who hopped the fence faster than I can, and I'm 38 or something like that, I don't know, mid 30s. Like, he's done that. He's kept active, hasn't he? By like, he had loads of wood. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, you've seen all the way down the road where the hedges. He said that he'd cut all that. And it was like
oh my God, he cut all
wasn't
that.
He?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
78, mate.
Yeah,
and he's
ridiculous.
He's jumping over fences like that. Yeah. So you've got to stay active, man.
The mileage was a lot though today.
14 mile.
Yeah.
Like, my feet feel all right. It's my calves are a little bit sore, but it's only day one, innit? One down, 7 to go. Campsite's spot on. Yeah.
We're in for a good trip.
Oh, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep tonight.
I think we need it, mate.
Aye. I think every night when you're doing the mileage that we're doing, you need to get your head down and get a good night's sleep.
We woke up to the sound of chickens. Not the alarm clock we were expecting, but it did the job. After packing up camp, Peter caught up with Judith again to talk about her first impressions of the trail and what she was hoping for the journey ahead.
What's your name and where are you from?
From the Netherlands.
Name?
Judith?
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did your first day go?
It goes okay. Yeah. It's supposed to be easy, but sometimes I thought, oh, it's too hard.
The last hill.
The last hill.
Oh my God, it went on forever.
It was, I thought, oh, where is the camping? Is it there? Oh no, not another hill.
That's what we kept doing. A really older fella who was about 80-odd year old, he past us on
Yeah.
walking.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They're really fit as a fiddle because they live around here and
Yeah.
they're walking up hills all the time.
I'm coming from the Netherlands. It's all flat.
Oh, it's the flattest
It's
country
flat.
in the world, isn't
Yeah.
it? Isn't like the highest hill in the Netherlands like 80 metres or something like
No,
that?
it's not high. So
Yeah.
with my Dutch legs, it's a climb.
Good
But
stuff.
it was a good warm up yesterday. It was beautiful weather.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
It was the yeah.
Got your
I
legs
was
in gear for
tired,
today.
but yeah, I'm ready. It was a warm up,
Good.
so I run up Conic Hill today.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, Conic Hill, are you ready to go, yeah?
Yes,
We'll
I'm
smash
ready.
it.
I'm sorry?
We'll smash it.
Yeah, we smashed it.
Scotland's forests are beautiful, but wildfires can spread, especially when it's dry. And Scotland's weather is no joke. One storm and the whole forest can be ripped apart. Nature here does not mess around. As we continue, the trail leads us to Conic Hill, and the sheep surrounding it don't seem to be bothered by us hikers. As we reach the top of Conic Hill, I couldn't help but think it's a privilege to walk here in Scotland's rugged terrain. It's not like anywhere else on the earth. What a spot to get the drone out. The landscape here is unreal, and we weren't about to miss out on the chance to capture it. As we headed down, our spirits were high. That drone flight gave us a lift we needed, not that we knew what was waiting for us the next day.
Happy days.
After Conic Hill, we needed calories badly. A quick stop outside the village shop gave us a chance to refuel and take a breath. Not far from camp, we stumbled across a statue of Tom Weir, a proper Scottish legend, a writer, a climber and a broadcaster who spent his life exploring and protecting Scottish wildlife. He even got an MBE for it back in 1976. Balmaha sits right at the edge of Loch Lomond. It acts like a gateway to the Highlands. Loch Lomond is the biggest freshwater loch in Britain. It's 24 miles long and dotted across it is 30 islands. It's part of Scotland's first national park and it's been drawing people in for centuries. Fishermen, hikers, writers and now us. Loch Lomond is home to salmon, trout and a few freshwater pearl mussels if you're lucky enough to spot them. Mushrooms, not quite plant, not quite animal, they are part of their own kingdom, fungi. They actually have more in common with us than with trees. Cashel campsite sits right on the shore of Loch Lomond. It's a popular stop for hikers, offering a bit of comfort without pulling you too far away from the wild. From here you can wake up to lochs right outside your tent, and trust me, the views are something special. We decided to grab an early night. We knew the weather was turning, we just didn't realise how bad it would get. But not long after, I was suddenly woken up.
I don't know if you can hear it, but you can actually hear a baby cow. Brilliant. Fucking hell, Peter.
It rained through the night. By the morning the ground was already soaked and the trail ahead wasn't looking great. Quick brew before hitting the trail. Whilst Peter sorted the tea, I was filling up my water pack. But at least the ducks were having a good time. We were still feeling pretty excited heading out, but yeah, the day had other plans. Then in the middle of the downpour, a small moment of joy, an honesty box packed with snacks, proper trail magic.
What's that way? It's cool, isn't it? Come on. What's the verdict?
Good night. On the trail we've come across some really beautiful and unusual fungi. This one's called horsehoof. It's been used for making fires and tinder for thousands of years, and it's another reminder that fungi isn't really a plant or an animal. They're their own strange world. This is where things turned. The rain got heavier and the ground worse. We started seeing water where there shouldn't be any. Me and Peter then heard a crack. Somewhere ahead a tree had just come down, and that's when we knew it wasn't just a bad day. One of the most unnerving things we ever came across was seeing evidence of previous landslide. This scar on the trail looks recent. Mate, it's not safe that. So we're back.
So we're back. I'm
What a
pretty
trip.
gutted.
Yeah, so am I, mate, but it was dangerous.
Yeah, that's the most rain I've ever seen. What anything that could go wrong did on that last day, to be fair.
Exactly. It was torrential downpour from the moment that we woke up.
It's the worst rain I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen a flash flood happen so quickly.
I've never seen obviously we didn't actually see the landslide, but I've never actually even seen evidence of a landslide, and that was quite interesting to see.
Yeah. So like tens of thousands of people walk the hike every year, and 36% do not complete. Obviously that was us. I was just starting to get my trail legs as well, to be fair, but when it rains in Scotland, the Highlands are no joke, and it's not like we're any stranger to hiking. I've done Ben Nevis, you've done
Snowdon.
You've done Scarfell Pike.
Yeah. I've done a couple.
Good crack at the Camino de Santiago as well. So, but that's different level. That's not walking. That's like that. The Rowadennen to Inveranen is scrambling.
Yeah.
And when you can't see, because it's that deep in water, you can't see where your foot's going. That's dangerous.
Yeah, well, it was like when we'd come across the first couple of streams, it was that lady that was stood there for ages and said that she was there for hours, not knowing whether it was safe enough to actually cross. Obviously, we helped her over eventually, but like it was just imagine being stood there thinking, I'm either going to have to walk nearly 16 miles back or 2 forward, but the only massive obstacle from me is just this water in front of me. Like, imagine the fear in that, because it was getting dark at that point as well.
Yeah, and I think the sound was quite unnerving as well, because we could hear the sound of the waterfall. I thought it was a road. I said to you, is that a road up there? And I'm like, I think it might be a waterfall. It's so isolated, that big long stretch on Loch Lomond. I mean, don't be too disheartened. The Romans couldn't conquer Scotland either.
Well, there's a reason why they train the army out there, isn't there?
There's a reason why they train the army out there, yeah. And I think, like, there was a couple of turning points. There was one where we went past the secluded hotel which has like one road leading through the madness. And you suggested maybe we should stop. And me, I don't know if it was ego, and I don't know, it's probably a bit of ego, and just a bit of like misplaced determination, you could maybe call it, where I went all Muhammad Ali, like live the rest of my life as a champion, and you know, we can't quit and all that. And then when we crossed a couple of the really dangerous crossings, and there was a couple of slipping incidents as well.
You can't really help having that sort of tenacity though, do you know, especially whilst we're out there doing something like that. It was sort of the whole reasoning, but at the end of the day, it wasn't safe, and it was only getting worse. Like if it would have been, the next few days would have been nice, I could have said that we would have stayed. But
it's one of them, like, you can't enjoy an achievement if you've broke your ankle or you've broke a leg
or you're dead.
Yeah, and people do die on the Scottish Highlands every year. And like, I didn't want to ring the mountain rescue, but there was a couple of times where there was how easily could a leg or ankle have been broken on them slips.
As you say, mate, it was like scrambling rather than just a hike at that point.
Plus the fallen trees, that was scary, because you could hear things cracking miles away, and then you get there and it's like a fallen tree and the wind's mental.
Yeah. The other one for me was the water crossing, and seeing the fear on the eyes of the two blokes, and they said that they were experienced hikers.
He'd been hiking in India.
Yeah, well, exactly. Obviously,
Northern Himalaya and all that.
Yeah. It's to see fear in people like their eyes. It was worrying, but we'll be back at it.
I think we've got to. I think we'll always have unfinished business with it if we don't go back and have a proper crack at it again. 100%. So we'll get that done in the summer, June, shall we? Yeah, there might be more midges than water, but I'll take midges over water every day of the week.
The story is not over.
Aye.